Most important questions Class 10 Science Chapter 9, Heredity and Evolution. Question 1. A study found that children with light-colored eyes are likely to have parents with light-colored eyes. On this basis, can we say anything about whether the light eye color trait is either dominant or recessive? Why or why not? Answer 1. To determine whether a trait is dominant or recessive, one must have knowledge of at least 3 generations. As a result, the dominant or recessive nature of the given characteristic cannot be determined. Question 2. Can the wings of the butterfly and the wings of the bat be considered homologous organs? Why or why not? Answer 2. As they do not have the same ancestor, the wings of the butterfly and the bat cannot be regarded as homologous organs. Although both structures are useful for flying, they have independently evolved. This is demonstrated by the difference between the wings of a butterfly and a bat, which are made up of 2 chitinous membranes and a bony skeleton with blood vessels, respectively. As a result, these are analogous organs rather than homologous organs. Question 3. Why are human beings who look completely different from each other in terms of color and look said to belong to the same species? Answer 3. Humans differ in color and look in general, although they all share the same genetic foundation. One theory put forth for our radical alterations is that they are the result of evolutionary pressure, where the necessity to be quickly recognized caused us to have quite distinct faces. Question 4. In the evolutionary terms, can we say which among bacteria, fish, spiders, and chimpanzees have a better body design? Why or why not? Answer 4. Environmental demands and pressure have an impact on how bodies are designed. As a result, we cannot draw the conclusion that one organism has a superior body to another. For instance, because it is best suited for an aquatic environment, fish have evolved a streamlined design. A spider or chimpanzee, on the other hand, might not be able to survive in such aquatic environments. Question 5. Explain the terms analogous and homologous organs with suitable examples. Answer 5. Homologous organs are those that share the same basic anatomical makeup and place of origin but have unique uses. For instance, the anatomy of human forelimbs and bat wings is comparable. Organs that perform similar functions but have a different structural makeup or origin are said to be analogous organs. For instance, insect and bird wings. Question 6. Explain the importance of the fossils in deciding the evolutionary relationships. Answer 6. Fossils give evidence about a. Evidence concerning the organism and its paleobiology can be found in fossils. B. Even an organism's behavior can be inferred to some extent. Paleontologists, for example, have discovered a site containing over 10,000 Hadrosaurus dinosaur skeletons. This suggests that the dinosaurs were herd animals. C. Fossils can shed light on how animals and plants have evolved over time. For instance, paleontologists have discovered that whales evolved from goat-sized land-dwelling animals called Pakicetus. Question 7. Only the variations that confer an advantage to an individual organism will survive in a population. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not? Answer: the statement is accurate, only differences give particular species a chance to thrive in a community. For instance, if a bacterium finds itself in a setting with a sudden rise in ambient temperature, changes that increase its heat resistance are particularly helpful for survival. For the bacteria, this will mean the difference between life and death. Question 8. All the variations in a species do not have equal chances of survival. Why? Answer: in the habitat they live in, not all varieties have an equal chance of surviving. Depending on the type of modifications, different people may benefit in different ways. The organisms that are best suited to their surroundings will endure. Question 9. A Mendelian experiment consisted of breeding pea plants bearing violet flowers with pea plants bearing white flowers. What will be the result of the F1 progeny? Answer: the Mendelian experiment indicates that white color, WW, is a recessive trait and violet color, VV, is a dominant trait. Consequently, the F1 progeny's blossom will be violet in color, VW. Question 10. Name the information source for making proteins in the cells. Answer. The information needed to make proteins comes from the deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, found in the chromosomes of the cell nucleus. Question 11. What is a gene? Answer. A gene is a piece of DNA located on a chromosome that directs the production of a certain protein that controls a particular trait, or set of characteristics, in an organism. Question 12. What is heredity? Answer. The inheritance of characters, or trials, from the parents to their offspring is called heredity. Question 13. Why is the progeny always tall when a tall pea plant is crossed with a short pea plant? Answer. Because tall is the dominant trait and short is the recessive trait. When a tall pea plant crosses with a short pea plant, the offspring is always tall. As a result, the children display the dominant trait. Question 14. How did Mendel explain the possibility that a trait is inherited but not expressed in the organism? Answer. Mendel started by choosing two pure line plants. Then he crossed such plants with disparate personalities. He saw that just one of the two opposing characters which he labeled dominant appeared in the F1 generation, while the other was recessive. Later, when he selfed the F1 plants, he noticed that both features did indeed arise, but in a certain proportion. This is how Mendel explained the possibility that a trait might be inherited but not expressed in the plant. Question 15. How did Mendel interpret the result to show that the traits may be either dominant or recessive? Describe it in brief. Answer. Mendel made a pea plant with two opposing traits in mind and crossed them. It was recessive to have a characteristic that did not manifest in the F1 generation and dominant to have one that did. He later selfed the F1 generation plants, and the F2 generation displayed both parental characteristics in a clearly defined proportion. Mendel concluded from his findings that the characteristic was dominant when it manifested itself in the F1 generation and recessive when it did so in the F2 generation. The subsequent cross serves as evidence for this claim. Question 16. A cross was made between the two pure-breed pea plants, one with round and green seeds and the other with wrinkled and yellow seeds. A. Write the phenotype of the F1 progeny. Give a reason for your answer. B. Write the different types of the F2 progeny obtained along with their ratio when the F1 progeny was selfed. Answer. A. The cross in question was created using two pea plants only used for breeding, one with round, green seeds and the other with wrinkled, yellow seeds. Green seed color and wrinkled seed shape are subordinate to yellow seed color and spherical seed shape. Recessive features are stifled in the F1 generation, while dominant traits are expressed. As a result, the F1 progeny phenotype is spherical and yellow. B. The offered cross might serve as an example of the various F2 progeny types and their ratio when F1 progeny were selfed. Ratio of phenotypes, 9, 3, 3, 1 round yellow seeds, 9, round green seeds, 3, wrinkled yellow seeds, 3, wrinkled green seeds, 1. Question 17. A blue color flowering plant denoted by BB is crossbred with that of a white color flower plant denoted by BB. A. State the color of the flower you would expect in their F1 generation plants. B. What must be the percentage of the white flower plants in the F2 generation if the flowers of F1 plants are self-pollinated? C. State the expected ratio of the genotypes BB and BB in the F2 progeny. Answer. A. The F1 generation blossom will be blue in color. B. If the F1 generation flowers self-pollinate, then 25% of the F2 generation's blossoms must be white. C. A 1:2 ratio between the genotypes BB and BB is anticipated in the progeny of the F2 generation. The cross shown above could represent the outcomes mentioned above. Question 18. If we cross pure-breed tall, dominant, pea plants with pure-breed dwarf, recessive, pea plants, we will get P plants of the F1 generation. If we now self-cross the P plant of the F1 generation, then we obtain P plants of the F2 generation. A. What do the plants of the F1 generation look like? B. State the ratio of tall plants to dwarf plants in the F2 generation. Answer. A. The F1 generation of plants will all be tall plants. B. The F2 generation has a 3:1 ratio of tall to dwarf plants. Question 19. How is the sex of the child fixed during the fertilization step in human beings? Explain. Answer. Human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes, 22 pairs of autosomes plus 1 pair of sex chromosomes. A male has only one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, whereas the female has two X chromosomes. The sex of a child depends on the two conditions which take place during fertilization. The two conditions are given below. If a sperm carrying an X chromosome fertilize an ovum which carries an X chromosome, then the child born will be a girl. If a sperm carrying a Y chromosome fertilize an ovum which carries an X chromosome, then the child born will be a boy.